So you're going to slow down on what you're creating on earth. You're going to slow down on what you're trying to achieve and accomplish. You may or may not want to launch a new business at this time, is my point, because it takes so much energy to burst something new like that. Um, Sensei is telling you you're about to go into a quiet time with yourself, and you're going to want to be lazy. Good morning and welcome to Wednesday. Well, good news. As of today, Mars goes direct. But Sensei says, hurry up and wait. You might have some issues with big traffic and also a lack of patience. From my smartphone to yours, keep streaming for your Wednesday Namaste today. Welcome to Namaste today, a groovy way to start your day. I'm your host and spiritual life coach, stepº8. Namaste, my friend, and welcome now to Wednesday. Well, good news. Mars is finally direct as of today after 6 weeks of being in retrograde, so we officially launch a new ego. But looking at all the other planets, Sensei says you might feel like you're stuck in traffic and you may feel like you have no patience. That's okay. That's what we're going to call normal, and I'll be talking about in our Tea Talk how to handle that. But first, let's take a look at today's zodiac weather. Today's zodiac weather is for Wednesday, June 29th, 2016. Well, looking at the 5-day moodcast, tomorrow you're going to feel great and really be able to move ahead. Friday will be sunny and productive, and Sunday is the one day in the holiday weekend that might be tough. But today, I predict sunny and stubborn for most of the population. That's because we can expect traffic delays. The moon is in Taurus. Now, the Great Human Walk has reached step 8 Cancer. That does mean the ruling channel today is channel 8, decision time. And that means that our ruling planet of the day is Saturn. He's the guy that makes the decision. Now, our emotional tone today is really feeling through our self-confidence. That's the stubborn part. That's the hard part. That's because the moon is in Act 1 of Taurus, and that's part of the issue that I think makes us feel harsh today. And our mental focus is information overload. We may have a 404 error. We're at step 29 Gemini. That is the highest degree the mind can go. So something is pushing us to our mental limits right as Mars goes direct. And that leads us to today's tea topic, which is dealing with our emotional programming. So sit back and join me for a cup of tea, will you? Today I want to share something that have to do with my emotional life, actually, and I know it applies to you, and that's kind of how I'm doing these little teacup topics, basically, is thinking about what I'm going through and then finding the astrology and sharing it, because I think that's kind of part of what's going on. And today, we're moving forward with the new ego. Mars is direct, but the sun is in Cancer, so it means it's about emotions and how we feel. And I want to share where I think things are changing. Like, for me, emotionally, I'm coming off of an emotional roller coaster from my old ego, because my old ego used to totally torment my inner baby. Like, my ego would worry about stuff, would be pushing that I have to be farther right now, I have to be more successful to be happy. And so not only was I not happy and not content, but like I was emotionally putting myself through a drama roller coaster, and my ego was the one doing it. That dumbass kept, rocking the cradle and freaking out the baby inside me. And I think this is, I think I've been accustomed to fight or flight emotional tides since I was a child. My parents are a Cancer and a Pisces, so they were very passionate fighters. So I had intense emotions. I watched intense emotions. I was sensitive. It was always very, very much a lot of intense emotions. And then I realized, as I've been reflecting, that that later when I got off on my own, I continued the pattern of creating intense emotions. It's not that I got off on it, but it's almost like I felt like I needed it. I needed intensity for it to be good or for things to be right. So again, my mind kept putting me, and my ego kept putting me through a lot of emotional, intense things. In fact, to some degree, I really think that, I think a lot of people are, and I think I was. I have a Leo rising, a Leo moon. I think I love drama. I do love drama. And I think I put myself through drama to motivate myself, which is a weird thing. But I realize now that I've kind of manipulated myself emotionally, freaking myself out, putting myself through drama, because that was my way of getting things done. Because if I had that drama, I got up and I did it for some reason. And it was like, and now I'm realizing it's like, whoa, crazy. That's like, like putting yourself through so much just to feel good, right? So this is what I call my emotional programming. I think I've been emotionally programmed to be dramatic and black and white, and really it doesn't feel good, even though it makes a good movie. And that's where I think I need to put my creative emotional drama hunting. But I think a lot of it was my ego. And now that I'm focusing on taking care of myself, things are different. The last thing I'll just say with my emotional programming is I was always putting off love or joy into the future with my programming. I was always telling myself, you will be happy tomorrow. You will feel happy tomorrow. And I've realized, no, you have to feel good today. So my new ego also is about feeling good today and not feeling good tomorrow. Like, with the way things are going, there may not be tomorrow. Okay, so feel good today, and I think it's time to, and I encourage you to too. So that said, let's put the tea down and do a megascope for you. This is something I just channel. I take 3 breaths and channel what Spirit has to say. I also look at the planets too, see if anything that comes out. Okay, so Spirit's actually very happy with me today. I have to say, for bringing up the whole thing with emotional programming, because today basically it's not that you're deciding what to let go of per se, okay, emotionally, because that's how I usually prescribe it, is like you're deciding what you want to let go of. But actually, in the actual practical, it's that what you decide to emotionally invest in is what will grow. So if you spend any time and space emotionally investing in worry, or emotionally investing in worrying that the rent's not going to be paid, then you'll create a future where you worry about the rent's not being paid. What the universe is going to bring you is that worry. And if you think, and believe me, even when you've got it licked with logic, if you emotionally respond with worry, you create a whole new reason. I mean, reality is very creative. It'll create a whole new reason to worry about the rent. It's one you hadn't thought of before. You know what I mean? Because it's how we respond. So how you respond to yourself, that is the secret to the universe, honestly. How you emotionally respond to yourself, how you treat yourself in that response. And today, you're taking one small step for you, one giant leap for your kind, to feel better, and it comes from how you decide to respond to your feelings today. But, a car just started just across the way, but you will find that today was a turning point. That's what I wanted to say, that today is, in fact, a turning point. Now, that said, I have some takeaway steps for you. Step 1. Today, try to connect and feel the new you today. Feel the new you. You know what he or she feels like. Bring it in, okay? That's step 1. Step 2, be mindful of that feeling. Memorize that feeling. Be able to pull that feeling up whenever you want to. Get to where your mind and feeling are synergized of that new you, what it feels like. I don't care about the details. Step 3, take actions today to keep that feeling going, almost like a little fire. So feel the new you and keep that fire going. Make your actions for all around keeping that fire going, not necessarily keeping anything in your life you expect to keep going. All right. For those who are watching over my personal Sensei service, which you can try for 7 days for just $1.99, today on your pep talk, I'm going to help you with some tips on how to understand your emotional programming. Like, how did I come up with all that stuff I shared? I'm going to share with you a lot of, how I come to those conclusions and help you along your way. And your eye candy at 3 p.m. is going to be your fourth house programming. So in other words, according to your astrology chart, what was your emotional programming growing up from what your data says? So it should be interesting, just a reflection for you. Everyone else, come on down and share your thoughts and what you're thinking about over your tea at stepº8.tv. Love to read about it. And until next time, my friends, please remember that I love you and live, love, be.
TV.
Why does every guy cheat on you? Trust me, I know. How come girls always call you their friend? I can tell you. We'll talk about your strengths and we'll talk about emotions. Secrets of Birthdays, now live for purchase. Check out yours at secretsofbirthdays.com.